My landlord told me I had 48 hours to leave because his daughter needed my apartment for free. I was sitting at my kitchen table when he knocked. Didn't call first, just showed up with his daughter trailing behind him. She looked about 22, fresh out of college, holding a Starbucks cup like it was a prop. Listen, he says, not even sitting down. Vanessa here just graduated. She needs a place to stay while she looks for work. You've been here 3 years. You know how the city is. I'm giving you till Friday to clear out. I blinked. Friday? That's 2 days. Yeah, well, family comes first. You'll find something. Vanessa's scrolling on her phone, not even pretending to care. She glances up once. Is the Wi-Fi password taped to the router? I'm gonna need that. I asked about my lease. He waved it off. Said we'd handle it quietly. No lawyers, no drama. Just pack up and go. He leaned against my counter like he owned the place, which technically he did, but still. Look, he continued, you've been a decent tenant. Low maintenance. That's why I'm giving you notice instead of just changing the locks. I could do that, you know. A lot of landlords would. Vanessa wandered into my bedroom without asking. I heard her opening my closet. Dad, is this a walk-in? It looks smaller in person. He ignored her. Kept talking to me like he was doing me a favor. 2 days is plenty. You don't have that much stuff. I've seen your place. It's pretty bare. I didn't yell. Didn't argue. I just said okay. He looked surprised. Okay? Yeah, I'll be out by Friday. He studied my face like he was waiting for me to crack. When I didn't, he shrugged. Good. Makes this easier for everyone. I'll need your keys by 5 p.m. Friday. Don't make me come looking for you. They left. Vanessa was already taking pictures of my living room for her Instagram. I watched from the window as she posed in front of the building, tilting her coffee cup just right for the aesthetic. I sat back down at my kitchen table and opened my laptop. What he didn't know is I'm a paralegal. I've worked in tenant law for 4 years. I know every loophole, every regulation, every code down to the subsection. And what he really didn't know is I'd been documenting every violation in that building since the day I moved in. Not because I was planning anything, just because that's what I do. I notice things. I keep records. Exposed wiring in the basement that sparked when it rained. Mold behind the bathroom tiles that maintenance just painted over. Fire escape that hadn't been inspected since 2019. Bolts so rusted you could see through them. Windows in the hallway that didn't open. Trapping smoke during the small kitchen fire last year. No carbon monoxide detectors in half the units. Water heater making sounds like a dying animal. I had photos. I had dates. I had timestamps. I had a folder on my desktop labeled Building Issues with 47 files inside. Thursday morning, I called the City Housing Authority. Spoke to an inspector named Gerald who sounded bored until I started listing violations. By the third one, he was taking notes. By the seventh, he said he'd send someone out that afternoon. That afternoon? I asked. Yeah, Gerald said. What you're describing is an immediate safety hazard. We don't mess around with that. The inspector showed up at 2 p.m. I watched from across the street as he walked the building with a clipboard. He was there for 3 hours, took pictures of everything, talked to other tenants, went into the basement twice. My landlord's car pulled up around 4:30 p.m. I saw him arguing with the inspector on the front steps, lots of hand waving. The inspector didn't look impressed. Friday morning, I got a call from my neighbor. Did you see the notice on the door? I hadn't. I walked over. Big red paper taped to the entrance. Official city seal at the top. Building red tagged pending mandatory repairs. All tenants to be relocated. No new occupancy permitted until violations cleared. There were 11 citations listed. Every single one I'd reported, plus 2 more the inspector found on his own. I was out by Friday like he asked, packed my stuff, turned in my keys, found a new place that was actually up to code. My landlord called me Saturday morning, screaming about how I'd ruined everything, how he'd have to spend thousands on repairs, how Vanessa was living in his basement now because the building was unrentable. I let him finish. Then I said, you told me to be out by Friday. I was out by Friday. He sputtered. You know what you did? Yeah, I said. I reported safety violations to the city. You know, the ones you've been ignoring for 3 years. The building's still sitting empty. Vanessa's still in her dad's basement. Last I heard, the repairs are gonna cost him close to $80,000 and the city's watching that property like a hawk now.